Hello, everyone. Hello, Instagram. How are you guys? And I'm waiting for Facebook to load. It was giving me a little headache there, but we are here. Hello, hello, hello. How does everyone like my new background? It's just a plain blush pink wall. What do you think? Hi, guys. How are you guys? Um, Welcome. So there are so many new people constantly following us, which I am incredibly grateful for. And just a quick introduction, I am Amy Raup of amyraup.com. I am an author. I am an acupuncturist. I'm an herbalist. I am a healer. I am a champion for women, and I really encourage and empower women to take back the power over their health and their vitality and even their fertility. And so, welcome. I'm just so happy and honored to be with all of you. And thank you so much. Someone said that you look so happy and glowing. I am happy. I think I'm a little overtired. I woke up very early this morning for unknown reasons. And yeah. So, hi. So, today I want to talk about what I think is a very important topic, and it's all about managing mental health during quarantine. Um, Elizabeth Gavin, I've missed you, Amy. Haven't been able to make it to your lives due to my new schedule, but I made it today. Yay! Yay! Well, welcome. Welcome to all of you. And yeah, you guys can tune in, tell me where you're from, tell me how you're doing, how you're managing your mental health during the quarantine. I'd love to hear. I have a special meditation that I'm going to give to you guys in just a little bit to help you manage mental health during the quarantine. But I mean, let's all admit it and call it what it is. It's been a fucking insane couple months. It's been strange and weird and hopefully not our new normal, but it kind of feels like that. And life is really interesting and different. And, all of us are at home and having to manage what life looks like with, if you live alone or if you live with several people. I myself, we also had my mother here for about 8 weeks. She's been kind of, going back and forth from her apartment to our house now the last 2 weeks, but 8 solid weeks of my mother being here, my husband, and my 4 year old being out of school. And I still have a pretty full time job, and so, we're all managing in our own interesting way, but it's definitely been intense. And for me, it's been a major juggle and dealing with a lot of guilt around not being as available to my child when I'd want to be, because normally he has a life and he's at school all day, and I get to get my things done before he's done with school, and that hasn't been the case. And so I know a lot of moms out there, you could give me a shout out of the mom guilt is really seriously intense right now, and there's more screen time for them right now, which I also feel guilty about. And, there's all sorts of things. And even with my husband, there's just more on him right now than normal. And I have had the support of my mother, which has been incredible. But it's also, I felt guilty about that. I feel guilty that I'm in my office for, today I'll be in my office for almost 8 hours. No, sorry, 9 hours. And yeah, I feel guilty about that. That's my truth. And I'm really trying to manage that because I have a business to run, and, I have a family to continue to support, and I'm doing my best to pivot in my business. My clinics have been closed since March, and that's a significant part of my income. I've been fortunate. I got a PPP loan and, making ends meet, but it's definitely been an intense time. And I know I'm just one person and I'm sharing with you my story, but I know every one of us has a similar story going on. For many people, too, this forced downtime has been very introspective, and I think for some that's really scary and uncomfortable. I think many people have been struggling with depression, or things have been highlighted, like anxiety, sleep issues. I know for myself, the first couple weeks I had very disturbed sleep, and that is not my norm. I am such a good sleeper. Besides last night that I woke up at 5 a.m. or 5:30 a.m. this morning. Um, I'm usually like a 10:30 to 6:30 or 7:30 kind of girl, or 11 to 7:30. But my sleep was really disrupted, and I knew that that was stress related. I was very aware of that. It affected my menstrual cycle as well, which many women, I deal a lot with fertility and a lot with women trying to conceive, and many women's menstrual cycles were impacted by this time. I think there's a multitude of factors. It's not living our normal life, so we're not moving around as much. It's the stress, it's the worry, it's just, and then literally the containment, that it's stagnating us, if you will. um I think yeah, sleep has been a major thing that, generally speaking, most people are getting more sleep, which I don't think is a bad thing, and I think it's very good for the immune system, or for the resiliency of the immune system. But stress is impacting a lot of people's sleep, and we just have to flow with this as much as we can. And I think now we're, what are we, 2 solid months in, and so I think we are getting into a flow. But now things are opening up, and like, what is that going to look like? What is life going to look like? There's so many unknowns, and that's extremely concerning. So I made a list of the things that I feel like are keeping me sane during this time. Helen, my sleep is disturbed. Yeah, I think it's really normal. My husband too. I mean, he's kind of up. I don't know, like 5:36. I hear him. He roams around the house for a little bit, then he goes back to sleep. And he's fortunate, like work wise, he can sleep in a bit. So I think this morning he got up like closer to 9. 8:39. I'm just letting him sleep because why not, and as long as one of us is up to manage the little guy, it's fine. There's been mornings though where I'm letting the little guy manage himself. Go in your room, and he's got a marble tower in there. I'm like, go in your room, play with your marble tower. The gate's closed, he can't get downstairs. Get yourself dressed and come back in a half hour, like mommy needs more sleep. He's pretty good like that. But anyway, it's a really interesting time. Our schedules are disrupted, and many of you, if you've never worked from home before, it's a whole new ball game. I've been working from home for many years, and so I know what that is like, but I don't do it every day. I usually only do it 3 days a week. So it's just interesting. And I didn't get my alone time that I get on my commute into the city. I get this nice hour and a half commute where I get to like read a book, listen to a podcast, and then I don't get home until everybody's asleep. And it's just, I get all this nice quiet time 2 days a week. I don't get that anymore. So that was very disruptive to me. And then couple that with the guilt if I want to take the alone time, it's been a challenge. And I'm sure a lot of you can understand and relate. And then we also are looking at social media, and all these people are, getting dressed every day and still fitting in their jeans and accomplishing things like I did. I painted this office yesterday, on my downtime in between clients. And, we're trying to do home projects, and, we're making the most of it. But there's also this pressure to like take advantage of this time, because we got to take advantage of this time, right? But what if you don't feel that way? What if you don't feel motivated to take advantage of this time? What if you do feel depressed? What if you are struggling? Yeah, I miss the variety. Being home so much has felt so disorienting. I agree. So it's even getting in the car. I mean, if I drive the car once a week, if that, right? So it's just been, and our ritual always was like Saturday and Sunday. We had our couple brunch places, our Amy approved brunch places that I love to go to. And we don't have that anymore, and seeing a lot of the local businesses close, it's heartbreaking. It's very heartbreaking. I want to drink some of my herbs. I'm drinking my Chinese herbs. A little sludgy. So things that I've been doing to try to maintain my mental and emotional health. I think the most important thing is keeping up with a regimen or a schedule. So pretty early on, I realized, I saw how kind of out of sorts my little guy was, James was, and also how out of sorts our morning routine was. Our morning routine used to be very routine. We got up, we got dressed, we got breakfast. I made his school lunch. We got, Ken got him in the car. Ken took him to school. Ken went to the gym, and then he, got to do his thing. And we were all just really disoriented. We didn't know what to do with ourselves. Having little kids is harder to get alone time. I miss deep sleep. Yeah, see, everybody. It's impacting all of us. So early on, I decided I was going to continue to pack his school lunch. And we put a little hook in the kitchen and I hang his lunchbox on there, and he loves it. And so he can eat his lunch whenever he wants. But now, because I was noticing he was kind of snacking all day, and that was also stressing me out. Then I was feeling guilty he wasn't having a healthy diet. Like it was just, oh my gosh, all the things. So sort of making his school lunch, which interestingly enough put me back on my morning routine, which was, I would get up and I would meditate, and then I would make his, then I would make my coffee, then I would make his breakfast, and then his lunch. And it actually makes me feel better because I'm controlling a little bit more of what he's eating. I had to hide snacks too. I've been doing that, putting them higher up because now he can get into everything. So that really helped, of having this schedule and like continuing my morning as if everything was normal has helped tremendously. And same thing with James, of like, this is your watch time and this is your watch time. And these are the things, and doing a little bit of schoolwork every morning. We're not homeschooling because he's only in preschool. So for all you homeschoolers, I can't even imagine how much is on your plate. And then for all of you that want a family and don't have one, all this downtime is probably just depressing too, because it's like a reminder, I think we get to move in our life and stay busy so we don't have to feel all the things. And this is an intense time for that, because we have to slow down and we have to let ourselves feel, and I'm all for it, so I think routine is number one for me. So I'm trying to keep our morning routine the same. I'm trying to get in exercise every single day, which is not my norm. I exercise 3 to 4 times a week. So now even if it's just a walk, even if it's a stretching class on Peloton or a yoga class, the Well has great yoga classes, or Peloton has great yoga classes, or I get on my spin bike for 20 or 30 minutes, or just ride my bike during a meeting. I'm trying to move every single day, because I realized my clinic days, I was on my feet for 8 to 10 hours. And that was a lot of exercise for me. And I'm not getting that as much. So my body started to shift, and I wasn't liking that. We were drinking a little more wine than normal. So we've just slowly cut back and gotten back to our normal routine. So there's always, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, of course, and things are scheduled there. And I really try to get my morning quiet time. Sometimes that's in bed before everybody wakes up. Sometimes I have to steal it. Like today, I stole it in between calls for 10 minutes where I did a meditation. A lot of times I'm just cooped up in this office all day. So I bring my food up for the day, but I'm really trying to stick to my routine of making sure my meals are prepared, giving myself movement time and mindfulness time. And then, of course, trying to shower, get dressed, wear makeup, things like that make me feel more normal. Full disclosure, I am not showered right now, but I did shower yesterday and did my hair yesterday. But I got dressed for you guys and put on makeup, and because I plan to exercise later. So I'm going to fit in my exercise where I can later on, and then I'll shower. But so my showers have been a little later in the day, depending on when I can fit in that workout. And sometimes my workouts have been right here in the office. I have a yoga mat, and I'll pull out my device and I'll do, like I said, a 20-minute yoga class, or a 20-minute stretching class, a 20-minute strength class. But trying my best to get dressed for dinner, and obviously we're cooking, we cook a lot, but we're cooking even more. And coming up with a plan for the week of like, okay, these are our meals for the week. This is what we need from the food store if we need to go, trying to limit our exposure to the food store. There's just so many things. But again, the rituals. So to me, it's the morning routine, the time for the mindfulness, the time for the movement, getting showered, getting dressed, wearing makeup, like putting on something nice. I'm still doing my Rent the Runway because I'm like, well, these are fun dresses and I'm just going to wear them even if I'm at home all day. I don't care. I'm going to still get dressed. I'm still going to feel good about myself. It still makes me feel like I'm engaged in this thing called life, even if it's very limited right now. Another thing that I think is super duper important is community. And so I have, scheduled calls with all my different sets of friends, and that's been fun. And, I'm giving myself I'm only working right now 3 days a week, giving myself my 2 clinic days where I would normally be in the clinic as days off. If I need to do a call here and there, I can. But so I get more time with James, which is feels really good to me, and I have a lot less guilt around that. But then I also get time to go for like a morning walk. Like I'll let him watch his shows. His dad's there doing work. I go out and I get a nice, 4 mile walk in, and I'll call a friend. And that has been phenomenal because they need the support. I need the support. It feels really good to deeply connect with my people. And so I'm not a big phone person. Those of you who are close friends of mine, I strongly dislike talking on the phone. It's just because I talk all day long. I'm just so sick of my voice by the end of the day. And it's just talking is just too much for me. So I am the person that people get annoyed with because I don't call back, or I'd rather do a voice text, or, that kind of thing. But that's changed. And I'm, getting on my Friday night Zoom calls with my girls from high school. And then there's a Westport moms group that, we're doing calls, and, my girls from the city, and, I have friends all over the place. And so just connecting more with community has been really, really nice and helpful. And, I think ultimately too, for me, and I think for many of us, is using this time. Let me just see. It's really been hard on my mental health, L.AC says. What are you doing to maintain or form a new routine, right? I felt that shift too when I stopped commuting and started working from home. I hadn't realized how much the walking was important for me. And dinner parties on Google Hangouts. I'm a teacher, so no more work. So more work equals less routine, which is normally fine, but I may need to create more routine this summer, is getting as much as possible. Finding myself getting angry when I'm seeing people not following recommendations, trying to shift since I can't control. Yeah, 100%. Like that's, I think, two like big important things that we should touch upon is everyone's going to do what they're going to do, and we can't control them. All we can do is control ourselves and how we show up in the world. And you got to let that shit go. And you do what you can do to protect yourself, and to do the research, and to read up on what is working, what's not working, the testing, all of the things, because, to nobody's fault, but this is a brand new territory. This is a novel virus, right? So we're learning as we go. I don't think we're going to have answers for another couple of years, to be very honest. So it's just being easy on ourselves, and then looking at others and really trusting that they're doing the best they can from their level of consciousness, even if their level of consciousness is, I won't sound judgmental, but lame, very unevolved. There are some scary things going on in the world right now and in our country. And all we can do, though, is do the best we can do, pray, get spiritual about it, connect with community, find the support where you can get it from people that, you love and trust, and you do it your way. And I still think, wear a mask while you're doing it too, do the best you can do. For me, I've had to come to the resolution, if you will, or the realization that I won't be commuting into my Manhattan office probably till September or October, because I have to take mass transit, and I can't risk getting my patients unwell from my commute. And so, there's just so many layers to this of a lot of acceptance. Acceptance is so key. I think it's key for any space we're in mentally and emotionally. Is we have to own where we're at, and we have to accept it. And we need to be easy on ourselves, and we're allowed to feel all the feelings. So Kathy, having anger, it's like so healthy to have it, let it come out, let it process, journal about it, meditate on it, get some exercise in, get it out. I noticed that for me too. I needed like some intense exercise because I was feeling really pent up. And my husband too. I'm like, get out of the house, just go for a drive, just get the fuck out of the house. You need to get out of the house. We're doing that with the little guy. We're, taking him on trail walks. Thankfully, we live in the woods, and there's lots of trails, and they're not crowded at all. We don't even usually see people on them. And it's been very nice for us. So nature has been tremendously helpful for all of us. And I think even if you're in an apartment in a city, still getting out for walks is still really important. Just getting out, seeing other people. We've done Parking lot dates, we've done some social distancing, like sit on the front lawn and just catch up with people. Everybody's wearing their mask and sitting 6 feet apart, and it just feels good. It is odd and not totally normal, but just doing the best we can do from our level of consciousness, and really being easy on ourselves in all of this, understanding that this too shall pass, and there might be a new normal for a while, but we'll get back to life and we'll figure it out. And I think a lot of people are gonna love the new work from home thing, and families will shift and change, and the dynamics will shift, and the people who are doing this all alone, they're realizing the importance of community and outreach, and what they can do to feel connected and a part of something larger. I love the office color. We took on some painting our house as well. Thanks, Nicole. Yeah, I like it too. So going back, I think like the routine, maintaining it as much as you can is really important. So we're still getting to bed at the same time. We're getting up at the same time. I'm doing my, morning routine as best I can. I'm still packing my son's lunch as if he was going off to school. And we're still just keeping our day as close to normal as possible. I'm getting my exercise in. I'm trying to get my mindfulness in. I'm reaching out to community and to friends and talking to them. And I'm trying to shower and get dressed every single day. I don't think there's been a day that, maybe I've stayed in like workout clothes all day, but I've eventually showered. And, doing makeup and hair and just feeling normal. So important. So the things that you can do to kind of maintain your normalcy. Sorry, Instagram, my battery is low. And let's see, do you guys, what am I missing? You guys have any input here? Instagram, I'm getting lots of, I relate to that. I miss my deep sleep. Sleep has been disturbed. Oh, I'm using my magnesium oil every night. And even my husband, I'm just like spraying him down with it. So that's helping sleep, although it did not help last night, but it usually helps. Same thing, limiting our devices before bedtime, although we are watching more TV at night. I'm probably watching like 1 to 2 episodes of our shows at night. So things are a little off. And then, like I said, every day is like, well, I mean, now that I'm only working 3 days a week, it's like, oh, maybe I'll stay up a little later. So trying not to let myself do that or catch it when it happens. And the exercise has been a huge piece for me. And there's so many great free classes right now online that's what I'm doing, and using those tools. I'm really taking advantage of it. And reminding myself that this too shall pass, that this is gonna shift and change. Learning to slow down more and taking more care of myself. I agree. Lots more self-care. I agree. I whitened my teeth yesterday or the day before, and acts of self-care. Gave myself, I don't know, a terrible pedicure, but I tried. Taking more time for us, right? And so processing, seeing when I'm getting triggered. A lot of people, if they have family members that are staying with them that don't normally live with them nonstop, are getting triggered. And so just witnessing all of that and just doing the best we can do. Be easy on yourself. You didn't create this problem. You're not part of it. You're part of the solution. And remember that. And we're learning. So the best we can do is just witness this all, accept it for what it is. We are here, and we will get to the other side of it. And you continue to prioritize you, because you're really important, and your health. Your immune system responds to stress in a negative way. So managing that stress and getting enough sleep, taking your supplements, all of that, so that you can stay immune resilient. And if you get exposed to this virus, you will get through it. Right? All right. So I have a meditation for you guys. And Instagram, you guys private message me for the link. And Facebook, we're going to put the link right here in just a second. But it's a nice meditation just about you reconnecting to your body, being in your body. And that's what so much of this is, the slowdown. it really feels good to me to be slowing down, and it's causing me to really think about my life and reprioritize what is important to me. How much of the hustle do I want to go back to? Hustle's ingrained in me, and maybe I need to slow down more, and I'm enjoying that introspection. I'm enjoying that time and thinking about what life will look like on the other side of this and what I can do to best support myself while continuing to provide for my family. So yeah, Facebook, the meditation, we just put the link up, and Instagram, you guys just private message me. We've been enjoying that communication with each of you. So private message me and I'll share the link with you. And until next week, just want to send you guys lots of love. Mwah, mwah, mwah. And be easy on yourself. This too shall pass. And take time for you. This is a really important time to slow down, to reflect, to connect as much as we can, even from a socially distanced perspective. Okay? Love you guys.